everyone. I just wanted to update you guys on what happened with the QLTS series. I got my reading materials in December 2017 and I started my prep in Feb 2018 and I gave my exam in May 2018 I passed the MCT with about 65%. It was really a crazy months there. When I started, I thought I'd be doing regular videos about each of the outcomes I was going through. I was planning to keep you guys updated, but then life got in the way. When I started the video series, I was not employed. I was still looking for a job. I had just quit my one job as an associate, and then I was trying to do this prep in that time. But then I took up a job as a paralegal with Linklater Singapore, and I kind of had no time to do the prep along with the videos, so it kind of fell to the side. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update of what happened, and in this video I was thinking I'll just go through the outcomes and then how my prep was and some tips and what the difficulty level is, etc. I did a really detailed video for outcome A1. I won't be going into such detail for the rest of the outcomes, but I still hope to provide some value on these ones and how to prepare for the exam date, etc. So that's what I want to do.
So, outcome A2, Constitutional Law and Judicial Review. The reason why I gave a medium for this one is there are a lot of things to memorize in this outcome. A lot of numbers, percentages, different kinds of orders and legislations you have to memorize and just keep in your memory. I made a lot of notes and flashcards of the things I actually needed to remember. That is actually my tip on this one. And the core institutions of the state, etc., you just need to make these charts and visually you need to remember them so that you can easily place them and remember them during your exam. So, outcome A3 is professional conduct and solicitor's accounts. It has two parts. The first part is professional conduct. I've given it like a medium low because it's actually more of a read-through section. It includes things like knowledge of professional conduct, client care, conflict of interest, confidentiality, third-party introductions, and the rules and sort of ethics and duties around those. That's actually not that bad at all. And if you have already done this chapter anywhere, you can actually identify with a lot of the ethics principles that are covered. Mostly it's the SRA Code of Conduct, and it's actually not that bad at all. It's just a read-through section. It's a little dry, but it's still palatable. Tips are do all like the sample exercises because they actually contain all these situational points, these situations that you'd give, and then you can see if you hit the made the right decisions in those choices. Also remember the exceptions. There are some cases, there are some rules and there are some exceptions. So remembering the exceptions is very important. And also remember like the most important no-nos, the questions will be about, a little bit around those exceptions and the big rules that they have highlighted. The second part of this outcome is solicitor's account, which was really hard for me. So it's all about client money and office money and different ledgers, record keeping, how are you supposed to handle your client money, what all can you do with it, etc. So for the tips on this one, there are a lot of basic principles and rules. Just learn it. What is client money? What is office money? How does double entry bookkeeping work? Credit accounts, debit, how the whole shindig behind accounts. It was really hard for me, but if some of you were account students, this would be kind of easy for you guys. So do as many sample questions as you can on this one, because oh my god, it will help. I did this outcome the last because I was in denial. I just pushed it away. I procrastinated like crazy. But I still did the practice questions and did all the modules in this one. So depends on you guys when do you want to do this, but it's a hard one if you've already not done accounts. Okay, outcome A4 is financial services. It was again a hard module for me. It's all about the financial services regulatory network, recognizing relevant financial service issues, etc. What kind of investment is regulated or not? Where to look for the latest updates. Where do the regulators come out with these things, and where should you look if your client asks if this is a allowed investment or is it regulated? So one of the biggest tips on this one is one of the biggest portion of this outcome is mostly identifying what a regulated activity is. And there are so many different kinds of them, and there are so many exceptions. So this is actually a very, very important thing to kind of really understand. Exclusions are really, really important. There are also like several special notes they have provided in like these boxes, specific categories of activities, investments in detail, etc. Those need to be learned very thoroughly. So this was actually the most highlighted part of my reading material, because I did so much of highlights in this one. I took so much time to learn this. There is also money laundering and taxation in this, but then money laundering was not that bad. It was just as you would expect, some regulations and what should be highlighted, etc. But taxation was a totally different game for me. It was very hard. To be honest, I didn't really see the advantage of going into detail for this section. There was a lot of numbers and all that to memorize, and then I just didn't see the point. So I kind of only did the high level reading on this one for the basics, but then I did not go into any detail with numbers, etc. And I just hope to answer the high level questions. This was one of those portions which I didn't go through a lot, because I just didn't think in the time I had I could finish that. I don't advise you do the same thing, but like any exam which you choose to appear for, you choose to kind of concentrate on some things and then have to let go of some other things because you just don't have the time. Taxation was kind of that for me. I just did like a high level reading of the portions, did not really go into detail or memorize anything on this one.